Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Conversations with Tumi. I am your host, Taran Shakir, aka Tumi. You can call me either Taran or Tumi. I do not care. And on this episode, I am going to talk about the single life. Yes, the single life is familiar with a lot of people. It is human nature that we crave companionship. It could be friendship, relationship, a relationship with a family member. But whichever the relationship is, we all crave for some sort of companionship. With me, in my case, it happens. I love, you know, a lot of the times being single isn't bad. I love myself. I wouldn't change anything about myself. It's either you take it or leave it. Um, yeah, I've been single majority of my life. I never really had a boyfriend before. I guess you could say the longest relationship I had was 5 days before 1 month being together. That's the longest I guess you could say I've been in a relationship. But for the most part, I've never been in a relationship. Have I been played and led on before? Yes. Have I turned down guys before? Yes. And I can say that for the most part that I am single by choice because I believe sometimes that I could be in a relationship, but it's like I have high standards for myself and you know, I also don't want to just be with anybody. I want to take my time. I want true love to find me. I want it to, grow organically. I don't want it to be a rush. However, I have times where, I get lonely and I cry myself to sleep. I question my worth sometimes, like wondering if I'm good enough and why, why I'm not, why I don't have anybody yet. And like on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, I see like, you know, couples and whatnot, but then I have to pull back and get myself together and remind myself that, you know, I do not know what goes on behind closed doors. And also, it's just an illusion. Like, yeah, I don't know what goes on and what they went through to get to where they are today. And then it's just like, I can be guilty of this sometimes. I read these like quotes and so forth. But then again, I am reminded that everybody's path is not the same. Everybody's journey is different. Therefore, I cannot compare mine to another person's journey. And then like every love story is different and unique. There is no particular way to like, you know, have a healthy relationship and a successful relationship. It just happens and goes with the flow. It's no necessarily one way because everybody is different. What might work for the person may not work for me. And that doesn't mean that, I can judge it and, mine is, you know, better or, there's this better. Like every journey is different and there is no particular way. That's why I guess you can say, just wait, work on yourself and just, you know, get a journal, ask God, the universe, you know, your angels, your spirit guides, like, to lead you to the right, and the angels to lead you to the right path, and for, that one guy or one girl, whichever your desire, and, what helps me get through my single life is I have a journal and I write down a list of what I want in a partner. and also, yeah, what I want in a partner, and also finding stuff that I like to do, like go to a concert by myself, go to the movies, take a walk, or like if I'm traveling and it's like somewhere tropical like Jamaica, like, go to the beach and, just do things that make you happy and fulfill you. And yeah, just just do that. And also just keep the mind busy and so forth. But, you know, as I've mentioned in previous videos that I had low self-esteem. You know, I'm I'm working on this. Sometimes I have my confidence. Sometimes, I'm working on that. And also I had like not so good experience with men, and I'm not gonna put 100% on them. I'm not saying that I'm at fault 100%, but what I will not do is act like everything was placed upon them. Like, I had my part in it. Like I've mentioned, I've turned down guys before because, you know, it sounds shallow, but it's because I wasn't physically attracted to them for the most part. And also, they didn't meet my standards, so therefore I didn't give them a chance. Or like, they wanted sex and stuff, so I'm like, no. But yeah, I never really had a good experience. Like, with my doing, I can admit that, I could be closed off. I'm not really good with expressing how I feel, so therefore I can just, hide what I feel and not express it to them. And, I have pride. Um, yeah, I can be very prideful. And then it's like, you know, there will be times where I just isolate myself and I'll just shut down. It will be no particular reason. Nobody has to do anything to me. It's just that I would just be in one of those moods like, I don't want to talk. It's nothing personal. It's me. It's not you. Like, I just need that alone time. And also, I feel like everything should go both ways. And I also feel that society has placed a lot of pressure on women. It's like, we have to look good every day. We have to have this makeup. We have to know how to cook. You have to be submissive. You have to be, politically correct for a man. Like, they name, it's not only society, it's like church, and then it's like also social media and these relationship gurus. They'll be like, you have to do X, Y, and Z. And if you do X, Y, and Z, then you'll get a man, or then you can get a woman. Like I said, everybody is different. And simple, the simplified way I can explain it is to just be yourself. And, that's my attitude. It's just like, I'm not going to I'll never change myself for a man. And it's like, the right one will come. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I can like better my way, but of like communicating and so forth. But I will never change for a man. That's for sure. And it's like, it's you take it or leave it type of stuff. And that's just my attitude of it. And then also with me, like, I have my times where I get lonely and stuff, but it's like at the same time, I value my alone time. There will be times where I just need space, or, I just want to spend time doing things by myself. That doesn't mean I wouldn't love my partner any less, or I don't love my future partner at all, but it's like, you know, when is the right time for me to be with the one, I would need for him to understand that I need my alone time. I don't know if it's an introvert thing or so, but I need my alone time just to like recharge and like to process and to think and so forth. And I'm not gonna really like get in depth, and I'm not gonna say any name for like because I do not want to get sued, and I don't want to put too much attention. Sorry, that was my laptop. I had a notification that went off. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Like I don't want to give it too much attention, but with my case of being single, I will not only say both cases where I wasn't physically attracted to, the guy, of the guy I wasn't physically attracted to him, and also I mentioned before it was by choice because of that. But it's like, it would be a case where, you know, guys would say that I'm pretty and stuff, but in the meantime they just want sex from me. And, I'm a virgin and I, plan on saving myself until marriage. So far, so good. Yeah. But anyways, what I was saying was like, they want to get into my pants. And one case, like, long story short, me and this dude, we were good friends and stuff. And it turned out, you know, I eventually liked him into, like 2 years into our friendship, I eventually developed a crush on him, and I thought the feelings were mutual, but it turned out like all this time throughout our friendship, he just wanted to have sex with me. It was not like, the feelings were mutual. It's just like he wanted to have sex. And, from then I stopped talking to him. Like it hurt because it was just like, I considered him a good friend. It hurt. And then like majority of the cases, it would be like other girls in the picture, whether it be an ex, majority of the case, it would be like, you know, they were interested in another girl. Like, I wasn't like the first choice. I was like the last resort. I'm told I'm beautiful, but this is the real. Like, I'm just telling them like it is. You know, I went to homecoming by myself. I never was asked to homecoming or, to prom. Like, I went to prom with my god brother my senior year. And not because I had it was fun, it was memorable and all that, but I never was asked to prom or homecoming. I wasn't that girl. Never had a Valentine. Never had my first kiss until I got into my 20s. And also, yeah, I was just one of those girls, like, and also, as mentioned before, I'm shy and like I could get tongue tied, and I might run away or like try to avoid them because I'm super shy and I'm socially awkward. So that could be, yeah, it could be a reason. Then it's just like, as I mentioned before, I got led on, and I got played, and I'm not gonna lie, my there will be times where I would give up on love. Like I would just be, okay with just, yeah, with just being single, no husband, no kids. Like, because my experiences had left a bad taste in my mouth. Like what I've been through with guys, like, it took a toll. They took a toll on me mentally and physically too. Like, you know, towards the last year of my college, I dealt with two guys. It was kind of like back to back. And then it was just like, not only did, it took a toll on me mentally, but also like physically as well because I lost a lot of weight. Be times that I didn't eat or anything. And then, you know, also goes back to my scar. Like I blame the scar for like the way guys treat me and so forth. And that, what I went through, it would contribute to like, me not having confidence sometimes and so forth. And so, like it would, yeah, like it was just, yeah, I'll have the times where, I would just be the bougie auntie, the successful auntie that travels around the world and like bring back her nieces and nephews gifts and so forth. I would settle for that. And at one point, I had a dear future husband journal, But, you know, after my recent encounter with this guy, I stopped writing in it. I felt like throwing it away, but I just put it away somewhere, and, you know, I'm sure it's collecting dust, but, you know, there will be times where I give up on love and so forth. And I'm just like, you know, it's not worth it. If it happens, it happens. But, you know, like it took a toll on me and so forth. And I would hear thoughts like, you know, you do not want to wait too long. And in um, one time, this church that I used to go to, one of the pastors had looked at my finger and noticed that I didn't have a ring, and he was saying, you don't want to wait too long. And also, I've heard that, you know, you're young and, you know, you shouldn't give up. You have your whole life ahead of you. You know, like, yes, that's true and stuff, but, you know, I'd rather be alone and get what, you know, and wait for what I want than to be in a unhealthy, unhappy, not fulfilling relationship. Like, you know, it's like I know my worth, and I know that the guy is out there, but I'm not gonna just settle for anything, because it's just like, you know, people can say what they want, but at the end of the day, you have to face it, not them. Like, you eventually will be with this person for the rest of your life. And it's like, you know, this person, if you plan on having kids and stuff, this person is the future mother and father of your children. You know, you will have sex with this person. You will, you know, wake up to that person. And it's like, you're going to share your finances. You're going to travel with them. It's like, this person is your life partner. So you do have the right to be picky. You do have the right to have standards. You do have the right to know what you want and what you do not want. You know, you're free to do so, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have to deal with it, not the other person. So, you know, yes, you know, listen and do not be rude. You know, other people's input, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's up to you. So, you know, with me, I long for true love. I do. But there are times where I'm just like, must that I give up, or like I just want to be selfish and work on Tehran. I do not know how long, because, you know, I need to work on myself, on like self love, and I'm still getting to know myself, and I'm still healing and so forth. And, you know, I said, like, you know, 2019 is going to be the year of that. It could take me like 3 months. It could take me 5 years. It could take me 10 years. Like, I don't place a limit or a time, because healing takes time. Self love takes time. Like, there will be times where I would relapse and just give up. But I have to keep on going, and I have to fight. You know, I have to keep fighting, because depression is no joke. Insecurity isn't a joke, and low self-esteem isn't a joke. Like, there will be times where I feel like I'm that queen, I am a goddess, and I love myself. And then there will be times where I'm just like, why? Like, you know, why me, and things like that. So, you know, I'm just gonna continue to be selfish, love myself, enjoy my 20s and my youth. Heck, maybe in my 30s, because, you know, they could say, oh, he can come, like, you know, in your late 20s, and but, you know, I don't know the time or the hour. So therefore, I'm enjoying my singleness. I am trying my best to embrace my singleness. And this isn't related to single life, but, you know, I forgot to mention this in the intro, but the purpose of Conversations with Tumi is to build community. This podcast is more than just views, likes, and comments and subscribe. Like, I want to build a community. I want, you know, for viewers to feel at home and feel like they have a community to go to, and they could express themselves how they feel. And, this is, I dedicate this podcast to, you know, the misfits, the loners, the introverts, the black sheeps, the free spirits, the misfits. This podcast is for y'all. This is my, intended audience because, you know, you're not alone. You have community and you have people that love you. And on that note, I'm going to end it here. And thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope that you guys listen for the next episode of Conversations with Tumi. Blessings, love, and light, y'all.